My 26 male ex 25 female locked me out of my bedroom. So I broke up with her. Now everyone says I'm overreacting. Help? Original post. So me and my ex dated for about a year and a half now, and things were pretty easy going up until now. But I really need a little bit of help to see if I'm being reasonable. My ex-girlfriend and I got into a mild argument, basically surrounding our Halloween plans. She wanted to go out, I did not, and told her that she's more than welcome to go out. But going out into that many people would only stress me out, as I have agoraphobia. So, I'll be watching horror movies on the couch that night. She got mad at me for not letting her have input into what I do for Halloween, which I would understand if we were spending it together. But we don't have to anyway, so what's the issue? Well, after that, she keeps trying to get me to agree to go out. But I refuse because I would be entirely miserable the entire time. Finally, she screams at me that I'm on a couch tonight and slams my bedroom door behind her. Wouldn't let me into my own bedroom all night. My girlfriend does not live here. She spends the night, but she has her own space. I would consider doing what she did not just out of the question, but deeply disrespectful and toxic. So in the morning, I sat her down and explained that while the Halloween issue was blown out of hand, I was going to be ending the relationship because I did not feel respected anymore. She was nearly hysterical, asking if I was serious, that it isn't a big deal, and all kinds of other stuff I expected. What I wasn't expecting was my other friends agreeing and saying that a girl dumping you on a couch is just part of having a girlfriend. So I'm just overreacting. My family's on my side. My dad even laughed when I told him the story. But basically, other than my dad, my brothers and my stepmom, everyone thinks it was too much. So I guess I'm asking for help recognizing if I did. I do know that I tend to get a little harsh when it comes to things I view as disrespectful, so I'm open to hearing opinions. Now for the top advice before reading the mini update. Saying that a girl dumping you on a couch is just part of having a girlfriend. No, it isn't. In my opinion, you did the right thing. I wouldn't put up with that kind of nonsense either. I always wonder why people accept and think it's normal when I read a post about a partner being exiled to the couch or guest room. OP, breaking up about not respecting your choices, mental health and space are all completely valid reasons to break up. She gave you plenty of reasons for breaking up to choose from. She also has not reflected on her actions. She hasn't apologized nor realized how her behavior affected you negatively. Yeah, I don't know. If you're mad at your partner and don't want to sleep together, you should go to another room yourself, not lock your partner out. Here is a thought. Why didn't you take her butt home to her own apartment? OP is a lot nicer than I would have been. He let her lock OP out of his own bedroom and only threw her out in the morning. The moment my not even live-in partner yells that I am on a couch and locks me out of my own bedroom, I'm telling him that we are done, and he has 15 minutes to grab his stuff and get the heck out of my house. Or I'm getting him removed from the property by authorities. If my partner has a problem, he can choose to sleep elsewhere, but he is not going to dictate where I sleep, especially not in my house where he doesn't even live. Your ex saw your agoraphobia as an excuse, not a mental health issue. To make it worse, she said she should have an input in what you do, but it didn't sound like you had an input in what you did. You bent over backwards, so her night wasn't ruined. She then made you sleep on the couch. She became hysterical when you broke up with her because you took the control away from her. You did the right thing. This kinda hurts, because this is how I see it. But I was hoping I was reading too much into her actions, assigning meanings that weren't actually there or something. And while I'm still angry about what happened, the hurt of everything has been creeping in. So thank you for the comment, truly. This made me realize maybe I'm not crazy. Haha. Other than bending over backwards, I tend to be pretty chill about plans and stuff, because I'm used to it being an issue. Most people don't want to go to a Tuesday movie matinee, so I won't have a panic attack. So I don't even pick up on that stuff. It's her trying to force me to go out. And also the door thing. The door thing really got me mad, which I hate because being angry makes me feel like a bad person. But like, that's my door. That is my bed. What do you mean I'm on a couch? I was so truly offended that it actually makes me laugh now, lol. No, being mistreated is not a normal part of having a girlfriend. Yeah, that's how I see it, especially considering it's my place. Lol, I don't know why, but the fact that she doesn't live here keeps coming back. Like, huh? I do have a bit of a pride issue, which makes it hard for me to see if I'm getting too big for my britches, as my dad says. Haha. I worry that I perceive a slight much worse than it is. I mean, I guess with that, and how often I see it happen to other guys, I started thinking maybe this is one of those times I don't see that I'm being irrational. Now for the mini update. I've considered calling her to talk things through to try to make the breakup go smoother because she's been blowing up my phone. But even if I do, it's not gonna be some blowout confrontation. At worst, it will be a lot of crying, probably mostly from me, which is why I don't want to do it. Also, because part of me is really hoping she will just chill out and stop messaging me. Other than that, I've been too busy putting up my Halloween decorations and making sure everything ready for trick-or-treaters to be really sad about my breakup. I know Halloween is forever away, but my nephew is 8. I'm his favorite uncle, and he loves Halloween. So I've made a game of having crazy decorations every year. So I've actually spent a fair amount of time in my yard, learning how to hide extension cords in grass, lol. He is gonna lose it when he sees everything. Next story. Ex-wife, female 36, shared online that I, male 36, left her because she couldn't have kids. Should I even say anything? We divorced 3 years ago. We were trying for kids for about a year, but to no avail. One day, out of nowhere, she drops on me that she doesn't want kids. I tried telling myself that maybe I don't want kids too, so I stayed to work in our relationship for another year and a half. Needless to say, I realized that not having children was not for me, and I definitely did want kids. When I told her this, she said that she still didn't want any kids. It was over after that. I am now in another relationship and engaged. My current partner and I are expecting, and she announced it on Instagram. She does have quite a big social media fan base, so the post did get some attention. I'm not really interested in the social media, that's her thing. I'll appear in her videos occasionally, but like I said, thing not mine. All was well, generally good responses. This was around 2 weeks ago. I went to a gathering with some friends on Saturday. As soon as I walk in, silence. These are mutual friends of my ex-wife and I. One of my actual friends pulled me aside and showed me something my ex-wife had said online and even attached a picture of us. What she said was so far from the truth. Think of it as a podcast-style video, which is not too long. She said that she was left because she was infertile. Then she started explaining how she feels like all the progress she made is set back to zero because I announced I'm having a baby. I mean, this is such a lie. She does have a low fertility rate, that part is not a lie, but I did not leave her because of that. I was very into exploring other options, but she did not want to and wanted to be a dad. We weren't compatible at that point, that is why I filed for divorce. I prefer to keep all of this offline, so when I'm asking should I say anything, I'm asking if I should say anything directly to my ex-wife. I was thinking about 1, asking her why she would lie, and 2, asking her to tell the truth, which might not happen but might be worth a shot. Buddy, don't even worry about it. If she wants to tell lies, let her do it. You will keep your sanity by blocking her completely and focusing on your new baby. I don't even follow her. I might just tell any mutual friends that have an issue that this is not what happened. And if they don't want to believe it, then that's on them. Just tell them she isn't infertile. She didn't want to have kids. I did, so we divorced. Don't respond to her directly, as she wants attention and drama. Seeing you have moved on and no hope for her to get you back is what brought this on. Kill it with kindness too. Well, she's clearly going through something right now, so I want to respect that. I wish her all the best. Then drop it. Any of the mutual friends that automatically take her side is just your acquaintance and not a friend. Tell your friends your side if they ask or mention it. Other than that, live your best life by ignoring her. The mutual friends mainly consisted of the spouses of my actual friends. When I was married, my ex-wife and I were very close with 3 other couples. I'm best friends with 2 other guys, and their wives came to be really good friends with my wife. The other couple was originally friends with my wife, but they meshed really good into our group. So out of the 6 people in there, excluding myself and my ex-wife, I would say that I'm very close with 2 of the people, while the other ones are closer with my wife, or just neutral between the both of us. I would only bother setting the narrative straight to those that actually reach out to you for clarification. Those people are actually friends and concerned. Everyone else are just superficial friends and probably wouldn't believe you anyway. Not everyone that reaches out is a friend. Some people reach out for the gossip. I would be careful who I tell much of anything to, but my general rule of thumb is if they have my direct contact info and reach out to me that way, we can talk. If social media is the only way we chat, and not even in person, I just ignore it. Talk to one or two mutual friends about the truth. The grapevine will take care of the rest. I agree. I don't know why OP didn't just do that on a day. He already had the elephant in the room, so he had a perfect opportunity to address it. Last story. I, 26 female, am pregnant after a fertility struggle and being told I may never get pregnant. My husband, 42 male, just admitted to having an affair and getting someone else pregnant. Not sure what to do. My husband and I got married 3 years ago. When I was a teenager, I was told that due to medical complications, I may never be able to have children. But after 2 years of trying infertility treatments, I'm now halfway through my pregnancy with our miracle baby. Unfortunately, because of some complications, I had to cut back on my hours at work as it's very physical. My husband offered to pick up more hours to compensate, so he has been working a lot more in the past 2 months and coming home later. I couldn't see that anything was amiss. Things were the same as they've always been. He always brings home flowers, food, things for the baby, coffee. He's always sending me thoughtful and loving texts through the day, and the gaps where he was unreachable were explainable. But this morning, he sat me down and gave me news that rocked me. He told me he's been having an affair for the past 6 weeks, and that his affair partner just found out that she's pregnant. He says that if she decides to keep the baby, she's going to raise it by herself, and that they mutually agreed to end a relationship already. He wants to make things right. I don't know how things can ever be right again. He just wants to move on from what he is calling his transgression. How do I ever forgive him? How do you deal with the unthinkable? How do I learn to live with the idea that my child's sibling might be out there somewhere someday? Most importantly, how do I learn to move on like he wants me to? Now for the advice before reading the mini update. Personally, the baby would get my maiden name and I'd serve him with divorce papers and child support. This one. There's no coming back from this, especially after how he confessed and acted as if it would be just another business deal that's already done. Let's forget about that and move on. Get tested ASAP. He had unprotected with at least her. Right, the freaking audacity. This is why there's like 1,000 seasons of Snapped on TV. I told my husband repeatedly that if he ever got another woman pregnant, it would be murder. Not saying Opie should unalive her husband. I'm not a violent person, but phew. I don't know about you, but how would it be okay having a baby with a man who just abandoned one? I keep coming back to this. It sounds like she's on the fence about the pregnancy, which is ultimately 100% her choice. But the ease with which he's willing to take the stance of just forgetting the whole thing happened is hard for me. I'm more than halfway through my pregnancy, 23 weeks, so I'm in a different position. OP, keep in mind you're only getting his version of what they discussed. She could have literally told him that she's keeping the child, and you don't know that. But what you do know is that he is telling you to your face that he's going to abandon that child. But he can't just abandon that child if she comes after him for child support at any point. Then he's on the hook because they will order a DNA test. I should strongly suggest you speak to a lawyer and find out what your options are. He's lied to your face stone cold for at least 2 months if not longer, and you've never noticed it. So the question starts now. What else has he done? And what else is he hiding? Because if you forgive him going forward, then what happens when you find out that he didn't tell you the whole truth? Or she comes into the life that you two have rebuilt and wants him in the life of her child that they had together? I definitely consult a lawyer, especially about getting in your child support claim first. I've read here on Reddit that in some jurisdictions, the first claims get more, since it is based on a full income. And I definitely wouldn't just move on. I'd move out. The guy lied to you for weeks. He had no problem cheating on you. Who knows how many times he's done it before. He wouldn't have stopped or told you if she hadn't gotten pregnant. He endangered you and your child by having unprotected with other people. Ask your OBGYN to test you on your next visit. And now he has seriously impacted your family finances by having another child. And he just expects you to forgive and forget? Without putting in any of the work reconciliation usually entails? No, and ignore him and his flowers and loving texts. You deserve better, OP. It sounds like he has no remorse, and the only reason the affair ended was because she got pregnant. How could you possibly trust men like him? He sounds like he is minimizing his affair. If she keeps the baby and they still work together, I highly doubt he will completely cut things off. She'll be in his life from now on. Are you okay with that? Now for the mini update. I have an OB appointment for unrelated medical reasons tomorrow, at which I will make sure to request extensive testing. I have plans to meet with a lawyer on Monday. I'm talking to my sister to see if I can stay with her. My relationships with much of my family are fractious, but I have a pretty positive relationship with her. I will not be seeking other options other than having my baby, due to being pretty far along and having been told in the past I would not conceive. Regardless of what my husband has done, I love my child.